Hey guys, JT Plays here, and today we are back exploring the Pendog Creative Library, which for some reason I wanted to call Archive. I apologize about that. But listen, it's the Hecate update, and I am not sure I am ready for this. I mean, already we've got things popping out with these two. Let me read what they have to say. The promised kingdom of history feels more like an office pizza party. Couldn't she provide us with real straws? These paper ones are so hard to drink from. Wonder when the party's going to start. Oh, that Hecate. Always throwing those crummy parties. But listen, before we get into that, a couple of things that we need to get into. Starting with the updates after the life update that I covered on the last part from the last part when I was covering the slasher update. A mini update, excuse me. Also, in the description, I'm going to have some links to support Murphy, the creator, and Adi Toddy. Murphy, she's got a GoFundMe, not a GoFundMe, but a Ko-fi to support her as she's planning on moving. Hopefully, by the time this video comes out, it's at 100%. And then Adi Toddy, she also has a support thing. And if you want, you can commission her. Just DM her via Blue Sky and Twitter. I'll try to remember to I'll try and hopefully remember to put all the links below. But we got some reading to do. And if you hear a fan behind me, that is um my fan going because it's really hot out. Radius of impact. Hello, Penny M here. Another post, I hear you ask? Yeah, I'm a bit surprised at how good I feel working on this update. A bit too excited to keep it all inside, you know? This reminds me of the good old days, back when it was me and the team getting this thing off the ground, traveling across the states, but I promise this isn't going to turn into a vanity blog. I have my eyes on that special update 90, maybe even 100% of the time. Speaking of, I never really knew how influential Hecate was. I mean, I had an idea based on her influence on Helena and Harmonia, but I'm learning about so many new characters in such a short amount of time. I might have to pick the most notable ones and leave the rest for the later updates because there will be more updates on Hecate, who I've neglected for so very long. Sorry again for the post, just really excited. Like I stated in the last video from the slasher update, it feels like Penny's been compromised. Yeah, guys, everything's fine. Hecate totally doesn't have a gun pointed at my back, demanding that I research her or anything like that. No, sir, that is not what's happening at all. Purposefully and curiosity. Penny M here. It's always been difficult to put a cork on these updates because I'll research these characters, learn their history, get intimate details about the people who created them, and then I'll just keep looking and learning. I'll get overcome by the urge to write not just about the characters and the person behind them, but anyone moderately associated with them. And then the people associated with those people, and so on. History is just very interesting that way, like trying to search the roots of a tree. With Hecate, though, it's staringly easy to snip things on the bud. This person wasn't that important to tell you all about. This person can be credited entirely to this character, unlike our other history regarding Hecate, ironically, wraps itself up very neatly. Already starting to lose your way, Miss M. I'm not even lyrical. I'm not even sure when I first heard about hecate. E never was sure either. It's like an unexploded mind lying in wait for us to discover. Two dumb kids with no idea how important what they found was, or rather, like a lifeline being thrown out from someone about to sink beneath the murky waves of history. It's almost, and forgive me for being lyrical, like she called out for our help to make sure history didn't forget her the way it tends to forget so many important things and people. Well, Hecate, I'd love to help you out. It's just you're something special, something wonderful is actually something terrible, something awful. We're finally going to dredge her, every part of her, every person, every company, every brand, everything to the surface. I wonder what else will be pulled up along with her. I'm so excited for the future. I'm so excited for the past. It's coming back. Then to add salt to the wound, guess who decides to make a cameo? There's been an awful buzzing in my ears. Sometimes if I listen hard enough, I can hear words even. But I've dealt with tinnitus enough in my life to know that they probably mean nothing. Then again, my allergies have been really bad too. Flowers reeking so strongly lately that stepping outside nearly makes me pass out. It'll take more than that to delay this update, however. I'm determined to get this finished and in front of everyone as soon as possible. I don't know. I'm mixed between Beatrice is trying to get Penny away from Hecate or trying to help her. Because we know the buzzing, and you guys are gonna have to forgive me. I haven't done the Beatrice update. I did the one after that, the mini update. But basically, and spoiler alerts, Factory 9 is sentient. It's using Beatrice as a puppet to lure people. And the buzzing, well, I am going to backtrack a little bit because we do have something from that blog, but yeah. Rolling along with it, lately I've been listening to those old Harmonia records. I used to roll my eyes at them, but right now they're the perfect thing for calming my nerves after work. I've been thinking, and maybe it's okay not to be so uptight about what the art means, you know? Oh, Penny, what did they do to you, girl? What did they do to you? And sorry for this thing popping up constantly. One thing about OBS is that they don't have the thing up here to tell you how long, a sort of window to tell you how long you're recording, so I lose track. Just a scary story. What was your favorite VHS tape as a kid? And did any of them ever scare you? Were you ever told by a friend that a certain movie was so scary and then never watched it until years later? Only, only to find that it isn't that scary? Not scary at all, in a way that makes you wonder what all the warnings and hysteria was about. That's kind of where I'm at with Hecate as we draw near the release of this update. She never was so scary, just misunderstood. Not mysterious, just lonely. I'm sure she never wanted to be forgotten, never wanted all this speculation, just to be acknowledged. And it kills me because I want to believe that too. Because post the Slasher update, and Slasher, if you're out there, I'm sorry for saying your name multiple times. Better to say it right and not mix you up with Slishy, but post the Slasher update, I've been kind of afraid to make assumptions. No. What they say about assumptions aside, it's like these characters have a little bit more motivation to them of, well, I'm this way because this thing happens. My place. I've written so much about history, the many great men and their many actions that sink into history's soil like gravestones. But I don't think I've ever thought about my place in history, you know? Never considered or truly understood that I'm a part of it, that I'm a part, that I'm about to be a part of it. Suddenly, for the first time since we started this site, I feel like I'm about to become a part of something special, something wonderful. I mean, you kind of already were before this, Penny, because you did have contact with Maisie the Mutt directly back in the funeral band update. Well, here it is. Something special, something wonderful. Hello, Penny M here. Here might as well be in quotation marks at this point. The time is finally here. Introducing new characters is always difficult to me, or rather, doing their personality justice. How does one introduce these icons, these cultural cornerstones, in a way which conveys who they were and how important they are to the masses? Not just the men who made them, who put in the sweat and blood to pull ideas from the ground and make them commercially successful, but the characters whose icon iconography made it possible. This has been a question I've had to ask myself multiple times while working on this update. Never before, not since the site launched at least, have I had to introduce more than one character at a time, each with their own importance, with their special oddities and impunities, cultural impact, each special and wonderful in their own ways. That, of course, leads us into the very special, very wonderful topic of this update. Alluded to and outright confirmed these past weeks, the driving point, the initial purpose, the mission statement, the reasons for one's existence, the big one. Hecate, the once lost character with no identity, nor company, nor home, nor purpose known to us. Well, all of these things are now known, at least enough to say this character is no longer such a mystery. In fact, she might be the most important character ever discussed on this site, bleeding into the ideas and creations of countless great men across history, from the musician Dylan Rose to the beauty tycoon Phil Barnum. In this way, she could be said to be a proto character, the source of life, the mother of monsters. At the very heart of every mystery is a cry to be heard, a hand reaching from the waves of culture, history, common masses, the banal majority which is not interesting and which says nothing. How unfair it must be to these characters, to this highly important character, to be drowned beneath, a great woman in her own right, which we have to thank for many things. We historians have grabbed that hand, pulled it from the sea, and although to some it may resemble a bad dream, a nightmare, something repulsive, it is in fact vital. So is this eye right here. I'll get to you in a second, Mr. Eyeball. When the body is sliced open, many recoil at the sight of innards, back away and cover their eyes to not have to see. Those glistening guts and suey threads are the reason for continued function, much like the working of a country or a company and so on. The archive feels complete, which makes me feel some sort of way, as history is never complete. Yet with the discovery of Hecate, perhaps this site's history might finally be complete? What more could possibly follow such a discovery? Discoveries, as mentioned, there is so much to show you, and as such, as is courtesy, below you may find the menu for this update. I hope you enjoy this update. The characters, the way they connect, the crown jewel of our collection. She's so excited to meet you. And what about this guy? What's his deal? For those who didn't hear it, that was Ian calling out Penny. But hopefully you guys heard it because I am trying to get the hang of the whole, you know, audio thing on OBS. One final thing, and I'm going to round the video out with this before we get into the special stuff. So remember in the last update when Slasher said that all the that some of the characters were going away, have left. Well, she wasn't kidding. She was not kidding. The Millie Moonbeam one hurts the most because there's a picture of her father. I know it's kind of hard to see behind the text, but Dag Nabbit and other words that are not friendly, not YouTube friendly, Pendog Creative Library. We haven't even touched Miss Hecate, and I already feel like crying. Anyway, I'm gonna shed some manly tears after seeing all that. This is JT signing out. See you guys next time, and see you next time, Hebby, baby.